The journey of a pharmaceutical product often culminates in the familiar form of a tablet, a precise and convenient dosage unit. The process that transforms granules into these solid forms is tablet compression, a critical step demanding accuracy, control, and a deep understanding of material properties and machine operation. Mastering the art and science of tablet compression is fundamental to delivering consistent and high-quality medications. Why is tablet compression such a pivotal stage in pharmaceutical manufacturing? It's the point where the prepared granules, with their carefully controlled properties, are formed into the final unit dose. This process must ensure that each tablet contains the correct amount of active pharmaceutical ingredient and excipients, possesses the required hardness and friability for handling and packaging, and will disintegrate or dissolve appropriately in the body to release the drug effectively. In essence, tablet compression directly impacts the safety, efficacy, and patient experience of the medication. The heart of the tablet compression process is the tablet press, a sophisticated piece of machinery that applies significant force to the granules within a die cavity using punches. There are various types of tablet presses, ranging from single-station presses for small-scale development to high-speed rotary presses capable of producing thousands of tablets per minute for large-scale commercial manufacturing. Regardless of the type, the fundamental principle remains the same: controlled compression of the granular material to form a cohesive solid mass of a defined size, shape, and weight. Achieving optimal tablet properties requires careful consideration and control of several key parameters. These include the fill weight of the granules in the die cavity, the applied compression force, and the speed of the press. The physical properties of the granulation, such as particle size distribution, flowability, and compressibility, play a crucial role in how the material behaves under pressure. Maintaining consistent fill weight ensures dose uniformity, while the applied compression force dictates the tablet's hardness and friability. The press speed must be optimized to allow sufficient time for the material to consolidate and form a robust tablet. Throughout the tablet compression process, rigorous monitoring and control are essential. In-process controls, such as regular weight checks and visual inspection of the tablets, help identify and address any deviations from the target specifications. Parameters like compression force and press speed are often continuously monitored and recorded. Regular maintenance and calibration of the tablet press are also critical to ensure accurate and reliable operation. Understanding and meticulously controlling the tablet compression process is paramount to producing pharmaceutical tablets that meet stringent quality standards and deliver their intended therapeutic benefit. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the Welcome to a deep dive into the foundational principles that govern the pharmaceutical world. Today, we're uncovering what are often referred to as the 10 golden rules of GMP, the essential tenets that ensure the quality, safety, and efficacy of every medicine produced. Good manufacturing practices, or GMP, are the backbone of pharmaceutical manufacturing. They are the minimum standards that a manufacturer must meet in their production and quality control processes. These golden rules, while not a single official list from any one regulatory body, represent a widely accepted summary of the core requirements found in GMP regulations worldwide, such as those from the FDA, EMA, and WHO. Following these rules is not optional. It's a regulatory necessity and an ethical obligation to the patients who rely on these medicines. Over the next 15 minutes, we'll explore each of these principles, explaining their significance and providing practical examples of their application in a pharmaceutical setting. Let's begin with the first golden rule. Golden rule number 1, get the facility design right from the start. The physical environment where medicines are made is critical. A well-designed pharmaceutical facility is the first step in preventing contamination, mix-ups, and errors. This means careful consideration of layout to ensure a logical flow of materials, personnel, and waste, preventing the cross-contamination of different products. Think about dedicated areas for receiving raw materials, manufacturing, packaging, quality control, and storage. These areas should be appropriately segregated, often with physical barriers, airlocks, and differential air pressures, especially when handling potent compounds or sterile products. Surfaces, walls, floors, ceilings must be smooth, impervious, and easy to clean and sanitize effectively. Utilities like water systems, purified water, water for injection, and HVACs, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning are integral to the facility and must be designed, installed, and maintained to prevent contamination and control environmental conditions like temperature, humidity, and air quality. For example, in a sterile manufacturing area, the HVAC system uses HEPA filters to remove particulates from the air and maintains positive air pressure to prevent unfiltered air from entering. Getting the design right up front is far more efficient and effective than trying to fix fundamental flaws later. It's an investment in quality infrastructure. Golden rule number 2: validate processes. Prove it works. In pharmaceuticals, it's not enough to just perform a process. You must have documented evidence that your processes consistently do what they are intended to do and produce a product that meets its predetermined specifications and quality attributes. This is validation. Process validation confirms that a manufacturing process, when operated within established parameters, reliably produces acceptable product. This applies to all critical processes, from mixing and compression to sterilization and packaging. Equipment qualification is also part of this rule, ensuring that equipment is installed correctly. Installation qualification, IQ, operates according to specifications. Operational qualification, OQ, and performs reliably under actual production conditions. Performance qualification, PQ. Analytical methods used for testing raw materials, in-process samples, and finished products must also be validated to ensure they are accurate, precise, specific, and suitable for their intended purpose. For instance, validating a tablet compression process would involve multiple batches produced under defined parameters to demonstrate that the tablets consistently meet specifications for weight, hardness, thickness, and disintegration. Validation provides the scientific evidence that your manufacturing process is in control and capable of consistently producing quality products. Golden rule number 3, write good procedures and follow them. Consistency is key in pharmaceutical manufacturing, and consistent results come from following clear, detailed instructions. This golden rule emphasizes the need for written procedures, known as standard operating procedures or SOPs, for all critical operations. SOPs provide step-by-step instructions on how to perform tasks correctly, from operating a specific piece of equipment and cleaning a room to handling a deviation or conducting a laboratory test. Good SOPs are accurate, unambiguous, easy to understand, and readily available to the personnel performing the task. However, simply having procedures isn't enough. Personnel must be trained on these procedures and consistently follow them exactly as written. Deviations from procedures should be rare, properly justified, documented, and investigated. For example, an SOP for cleaning a mixing tank would detail the type and concentration of cleaning agent, contact time, temperature, rinsing steps, and verification methods, e.g., visual inspection, swab testing. Personnel performing the cleaning must follow every step in the SOP and document their adherence. This rule ensures that every time a task is performed, it's done the same way, minimizing variability and potential errors. Golden rule number 4, identify who does what. Define roles and responsibilities. In a pharmaceutical operation, clarity and accountability are paramount. This golden rule stresses the importance of clearly defining and documenting the roles, responsibilities, and authorities of all personnel involved in GMP activities. Everyone needs to know what their job is, how to do it correctly according to procedures, and what their responsibilities are regarding product quality and safety. This is typically done through job descriptions, organizational charts, and training records that demonstrate personnel are qualified for the tasks they perform. Clear reporting structures ensure that issues are escalated appropriately. For example, a quality control analyst has specific responsibilities for performing tests and documenting results, while a production supervisor is responsible for overseeing manufacturing operations and ensuring adherence to batch records. The head of quality assurance typically has the final authority to release or reject a batch of product. Clearly defined responsibilities prevent confusion, ensure accountability, and help identify the right people to address issues when they arise. Golden rule number 5, keep good records, document everything. In GMP, the principle is often stated, if it wasn't documented, it didn't happen. Comprehensive, accurate, and contemporaneous documentation is the indisputable evidence that GMP requirements have been met and that a batch of product was manufactured according to its master batch record. This golden rule requires meticulous record keeping for every significant activity. This includes records for raw material receipt and testing, batch manufacturing. Executed batch records are critical here, detailing every step performed, ingredients added, equipment used, and in-process test results. Packaging operations, quality control testing results, equipment use and maintenance logs, cleaning logs, calibration records, training records, deviation reports, and CAPA investigations. Records must be legible, permanent, and completed at the time the activity is performed, contemporaneous. Data integrity is a critical aspect, ensuring records are accurate and protected from unauthorized alterations. For instance, if a temperature reading is taken during a process step, it must be recorded immediately and accurately in the batch record, signed and dated by the person who took the reading. Good documentation provides traceability for every batch and is essential for investigations, audits, and regulatory inspections. Golden rule number 6, train and develop staff. People are the most valuable asset in a pharmaceutical company, and their knowledge and skills are critical to maintaining GMP compliance and product quality. This golden rule emphasizes the necessity of a comprehensive and ongoing training program for all personnel whose activities can impact product quality. Training should cover general GMP principles, relevant regulations, specific SOPs for their job functions, hygiene requirements, and the importance of reporting quality issues. Training must be documented, and the effectiveness of the training should be assessed. This isn't a one-time event. Refresher training and training on new procedures or equipment are essential. Personnel handling potent or hazardous materials or working in sterile environments require specialized training. For example, an operator working in a sterile filling area needs extensive training on aseptic techniques to prevent microbial contamination of the product. A QC chemist needs training on specific analytical methods and equipment operation. Investing in training ensures that personnel have the necessary knowledge and skills to perform their duties correctly and understand the impact of their actions on drug quality. Golden rule number 7, practice good hygiene. Preventing contamination is fundamental to pharmaceutical manufacturing, and personal hygiene is a critical barrier. This golden rule mandates strict hygiene practices for all personnel entering manufacturing areas. This includes proper hand-washing techniques, wearing appropriate clean protective clothing like gowns, gloves, masks, hairnets, and beard covers, the level of which depends on the criticality of the area. Personnel with health conditions that could compromise product quality, e.g., open sores, respiratory infections, should be restricted from working in relevant areas. Eating, drinking, smoking, and chewing gum should be restricted to designated areas outside of manufacturing zones. For instance, before entering a clean room for sterile manufacturing, personnel follow a stringent gowning procedure, putting on multiple layers of sterile garments to minimize shedding of particles and microorganisms from their bodies. Maintaining a high standard of personal cleanliness and following hygiene procedures is a personal responsibility for every employee and a vital part of preventing contamination of drug products. Golden rule number 8, maintain facilities and equipment. Even with excellent design, facilities and equipment require ongoing care to remain suitable for pharmaceutical manufacturing. This golden rule highlights the importance of robust maintenance programs. Facilities must be kept in a good state of repair, with prompt attention to issues like cracks in walls or floors that could harbor pests or microorganisms. Equipment requires both preventative maintenance to avoid unexpected failures and corrective maintenance when issues arise. All maintenance activities should be documented. Calibration of measuring, weighing, and recording equipment is essential to ensure accuracy. Scales, thermometers, pressure gauges, and analytical instruments must be calibrated at defined intervals using certified standards. For example, a tablet press requires regular preventative maintenance to ensure all parts are functioning correctly and to prevent issues like variable tablet weight or hardness. A pH meter in the QC lab must be calibrated before use and at set intervals to ensure accurate pH readings for testing. Proper maintenance and calibration ensure that the manufacturing environment remains controlled and that equipment provides accurate and reliable results. Golden rule number 9, build quality into the whole product lifecycle. GMP is not just about controlling the manufacturing process. It's about ensuring quality from the initial development of a drug through its commercial production, distribution, and even discontinuation. This golden rule emphasizes a holistic approach to quality throughout the entire product lifecycle. This means that quality considerations are integrated into product development, including the selection of materials, formulation, and manufacturing process design. Robust technology transfer processes ensure that the knowledge gained during development is successfully transferred to commercial manufacturing. Ongoing process monitoring and continuous improvement initiatives ensure that the process remains in a state of control and that opportunities for enhancement are identified. Changes to the product or process are managed through a formal change control system, assessing the impact on quality before implementation. For example, stability testing is conducted throughout the product's life cycle to ensure it remains within specifications over its shelf life. Post-market surveillance and handling of complaints and adverse events also feed back into the quality system, potentially triggering investigations and updates to manufacturing processes if needed. Building quality in from the start and managing it throughout the life cycle ensures the continued safety and efficacy of the product. Golden rule number 10, perform regular audits. The final golden rule emphasizes the importance of regularly evaluating your GMP system to ensure it remains effective and compliant with current regulations. This is achieved through internal audits, self-inspections, and external audits from regulators, customers, or third parties. Internal audits should be conducted by trained personnel who are independent of the area being audited. They involve a systematic review of procedures, records, facilities, and operations to identify any gaps in compliance or areas for improvement. Findings from audits should be documented, investigated to determine the root cause, and addressed through the CAPA, Corrective Action, Preventive Action system. Regulatory inspections are a form of external audit where agencies like the FDA or EMA assess your compliance with GMP regulations. Being prepared for these inspections is a direct result of consistently following all the other golden rules and addressing any findings from internal audits promptly and effectively. Regular audits provide an objective assessment of your quality system's health and drive continuous improvement. These 10 golden rules of GMP provide a powerful framework for pharmaceutical manufacturers. They emphasize that quality is not something tested into a product at the end, but rather is built in through diligent control of the environment, materials, processes, equipment, and personnel, all supported by robust documentation and a commitment to continuous evaluation and improvement. Adhering to these principles is not just about meeting regulatory requirements, it's about upholding the highest standards of quality and safety to protect the health and well-being of patients worldwide. They are the fundamental pillars supporting the complex and critical process of bringing safe and effective medicines to those in need. We hope this comprehensive overview of the 10 golden rules of GMP has been insightful. If you have questions about any of these principles or their application, please share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth content on pharmaceutical quality and compliance. Thanks for watching. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP
In today's fast-paced world, where information is constantly flowing, the importance of clear, accurate, and reliable documentation cannot be overstated. This is especially true in industries like pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and manufacturing, where documentation isn't just a record-keeping task. It's a critical element of quality, safety, and regulatory compliance. That's where good documentation practices, or GDoc-P, come in. So, what exactly are good documentation practices? At its core, GDoc-P is a set of principles and guidelines that ensure documentation is accurate, reliable, traceable, and understandable. It's about creating a system where information is recorded consistently, maintained securely, and can be easily retrieved when needed. Why is GDoc-P so important? First and foremost, it ensures product quality and patient safety. In the pharmaceutical industry, for example, accurate documentation is essential for tracking the entire life cycle of a drug, from its development and manufacturing to its distribution and use. Any errors or omissions in documentation can have serious consequences, potentially leading to faulty products, safety issues, and regulatory breaches. GDoc-P also plays a crucial role in regulatory compliance. Agencies like the FDA and EMA have strict requirements for documentation, and companies must adhere to these regulations to bring their products to market and maintain their licenses. Proper documentation demonstrates that processes are controlled, data is reliable, and all necessary steps have been followed. But GDoc-P is not just about meeting regulatory requirements, it's also about good business practice. Clear and accurate documentation improves efficiency, reduces errors, and facilitates knowledge transfer. It provides a reliable record of what has been done, making it easier to troubleshoot problems, investigate deviations, and improve processes. So what are the key principles of good documentation practices? Let's take a closer look. Attributable. It should be clear who recorded the data, who performed an activity, and who made a decision. Legible. Documentation should be easy to read and understand, whether it's handwritten or electronic. Contemporaneous. Data should be recorded at the time the activity is performed, not later. Original. The original record should be maintained, and any changes should be clearly documented. Accurate. Documentation should be free from errors and reflect what actually happened. Complete. All relevant information should be included, and no data should be omitted. Consistent. Documentation should be formatted and recorded in a consistent manner. Enduring. Records should be stored securely and retained for the required period. Available. Documentation should be easily accessible when needed. In today's digital age, many organizations are transitioning from paper-based to electronic documentation systems. While electronic systems offer many advantages, such as increased efficiency and improved data integrity, they also come with their own set of challenges. It's essential to implement controls to ensure data security, prevent unauthorized access, and maintain an audit trail of all changes. In conclusion, good documentation practices are more than just a set of rules. They are a fundamental principle that underpins quality, safety, and compliance in regulated industries. By adhering to these practices, organizations can ensure the integrity of their data, improve their processes, and ultimately deliver better products and services. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP Guide community.
In today's interconnected world, a company's success is deeply intertwined with the reliability and quality of its suppliers. That's why supplier qualification is so critical. It's the process of evaluating and approving potential suppliers to ensure they meet your organization's specific requirements and standards. But why is it so important? Mitigating risks. Supplier qualification helps minimize potential disruptions to your supply chain, such as delays, quality issues, or even ethical concerns. Ensuring quality. It guarantees that the goods or services you receive meet your quality standards, which directly impacts your own products and reputation. Cost efficiency. A reliable supplier can help you avoid costly problems down the line, such as product recalls, rework, or customer dissatisfaction. Regulatory compliance. In many industries like pharmaceuticals and food, supplier qualification is a regulatory requirement. Building strong relationships. The qualification process can foster open communication and build stronger, more collaborative relationships with your suppliers. The supplier qualification process typically involves several key steps. Supplier identification. The first step is to identify potential suppliers who can meet your needs. This might involve market research, referrals, or industry databases. Initial screening. This involves a preliminary assessment of potential suppliers based on factors like their experience, financial stability, certifications, and overall reputation. Questionnaire or self-assessment. Suppliers are often asked to complete a detailed questionnaire or self-assessment form. This document covers various aspects of their business, including their quality management system, production capabilities, and adherence to ethical and environmental standards. On-site audit. For critical suppliers, an on-site audit may be necessary. This allows you to directly assess their facilities, processes, and quality control measures. Sample evaluation. Requesting and evaluating samples of the goods or services is crucial to ensure they meet your quality specifications. Contract negotiation. Once a supplier is qualified, you'll negotiate a contract that outlines the terms and conditions of your agreement, including quality requirements, delivery schedules, and pricing. Ongoing monitoring. Supplier qualification isn't a one-time event. It's essential to continuously monitor supplier performance and periodically reevaluate their qualifications. Key factors to consider during supplier qualification include quality management system. Does the supplier have a robust quality management system in place, such as ISO 9001 certification? Production capacity and capabilities. Can the supplier meet your volume requirements and production timelines? Financial stability. Is the supplier financially stable and able to meet your needs in the long term? Technical expertise. Does the supplier have the technical expertise and resources to provide the goods or services you require? Regulatory compliance. Does the supplier comply with all relevant regulations and industry standards? Ethical and environmental standards. Does the supplier adhere to ethical business practices and environmental regulations? Communication and responsiveness. Is the supplier responsive, communicative, and easy to work with? By implementing a rigorous supplier qualification process, companies can build a reliable supply chain, minimize risks, ensure quality, and foster strong long-term partnerships with their suppliers. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP Guide community. For complex undertakings like drug discovery, development, and commercialization, navigating the lengthy timelines, stringent regulations, and high costs requires specialized coordination. This necessitates a robust discipline known as pharmaceutical project management, PPM. Understanding the principles and rigorous methodologies involved in PPM is fundamental to successfully bringing safe and effective therapies from the laboratory bench to the patient bedside. Why is pharmaceutical project management so critical in drug development and manufacturing? Unlike projects in less regulated sectors, pharmaceutical initiatives face unique challenges, including navigating global regulatory hurdles, like those from the FDA, EMA, or Swissmedic, managing extensive clinical trial processes, ensuring strict adherence to quality standards, GMP, GCP, and coordinating diverse scientific and operational teams. Any significant failure in project management, such as missed deadlines, budget overruns, or compliance gaps, can severely jeopardize the development of potentially life-saving medications and impact patient access. Therefore, effective planning, execution, monitoring, and control throughout the project lifecycle are non-negotiable. Pharmaceutical project management relies on a combination of structured planning, cross-functional expertise, and proactive risk mitigation. Key elements include the formation of cross-functional teams, bringing together specialists from R&D, clinical operations, regulatory affairs, manufacturing, quality assurance, and marketing to provide comprehensive input. For example, developing a new biologic requires input from molecular biologists, process engineers, clinical researchers, regulatory experts, and supply chain managers. Robust project planning involves creating detailed timelines, often using Gantt charts, defining clear milestones and deliverables, allocating resources effectively, and establishing realistic budgets. For instance, a clinical trial project plan outlines patient recruitment strategies, site activation schedules, data collection timelines, and statistical analysis plans. Furthermore, proactive risk management is essential to identify potential scientific, regulatory, or operational hurdles and develop mitigation strategies early on. An example includes identifying the risk of a manufacturing process, failing scale-up, and developing alternative approaches in parallel. Critical project execution often involves specific methodologies and tools. Established frameworks like the Project Management Body of Knowledge, PMBOK, or tailored stage gate processes provide structure for decision-making. Stage gate reviews, for instance, allow for formal assessment of project progress and data at critical junctures before committing further resources, such as deciding whether to proceed from Phase 2 to Phase 3 clinical trials based on efficacy and safety data. Specialized project management software, e.g. MS Project, Planisware, Smartsheet, is frequently used for detailed planning, progress tracking, resource management, and facilitating communication across global teams. Effective stakeholder communication ensures alignment among team members, senior management, external partners, and regulatory agencies. This might involve regular core team meetings, steering committee updates, and formal progress reports. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP guide. Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into a critical aspect of pharmaceutical operations, change control. In an industry where precision, compliance, and patient safety are paramount, managing changes effectively is not just a best practice, it's an absolute necessity. We'll explore why change control is so vital, the complex challenges it presents, and how to implement a robust and sustainable system. So what exactly is change control? In essence, it's a systematic process for evaluating, documenting, and approving any modifications to systems, processes, equipment, or documentation that could impact product quality, safety, or efficacy. This includes everything from minor adjustments to major overhauls. Think about changes in manufacturing processes, equipment upgrades, software updates, or even changes in raw material suppliers. Each of these changes requires careful consideration to ensure they don't compromise the integrity of the final product. The pharmaceutical industry is heavily regulated, and change control is a key area of focus for regulatory bodies like the FDA, EMA, and others. These agencies require companies to have a documented change control system that demonstrates a thorough understanding of the potential impact of changes. Compliance with these regulations is crucial to avoid costly delays, regulatory actions, and ultimately to protect patient safety. We'll touch on the key regulatory requirements and how to ensure your system meets them. Change control system typically includes several key elements. First, a clear definition of what constitutes a change. Second, a structured process for initiating, evaluating, and approving changes. This includes impact assessments, risk analyses, and documentation. Third, a system for tracking and monitoring changes throughout their life cycle. And finally, a post-implementation review to ensure the change achieved its intended outcome without unintended consequences. We'll break down each of these steps. Implementing and maintaining an effective change control challenges. Common issues include inadequate documentation, lack of cross-functional communication, and inconsistent application of the practical strategies for overcoming these obstacles, such as implementing electronic systems for documentation, establishing clear roles and responsibilities, and providing regular training to staff. Ultimately, a well-managed change control system improves product quality, reduces risks, enhances compliance, and streamlines operations. By ensuring changes are thoroughly evaluated and documented, companies can minimize disruptions and maintain a high level of confidence in their products. This also fosters a culture of continuous improvement, as each change provides an opportunity to learn and optimize processes. Change control is a fundamental aspect of pharmaceutical operations. By implementing a robust and well-documented system, companies can navigate changes with confidence and ensure the continued safety and efficacy of their products. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more insights into the pharmaceutical industry. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP Guide community. Data integrity ensures the completeness, consistency, accuracy, and security of data throughout its lifecycle, ensuring reliability and trustworthiness. Regulatory agencies expect adherence to ALCOA Plus principles. Attributable: who performed an action and when, e.g. unique user login records action. Legible, readable, and permanent, e.g. clear printout, indelible ink. Contemporaneous: recorded at the time of activity, e.g. recording a weight immediately after weighing. Original: first record or verified true copy, e.g. initial instrument data file, not a reprocessed summary. Accurate: correctly reflects the action result, e.g. value matches instrument display, no typos. Plus, data must also be complete, includes metadata, relevant failures, errors. Consistent, chronological, follows expected sequence. Enduring, securely stored for a required period. Available, retrievable for review audit. Importance and regulatory context. Data integrity is fundamental because it underpins product quality, safety, and efficacy, forms the basis for critical quality decisions like batch release, and is essential for GMP compliance and regulatory trust, a major focus for agencies like FDA, EMA, MHRA. Failures severely risk patient safety, can trigger regulatory actions, warnings, recalls, and damage company reputation. Scope: data integrity principles apply universally to all GMP-relevant data regardless of format, paper, electronic, hybrid. This includes primary data points, associated metadata, contextual information like timestamps, user IDs, units, and system functionalities like audit trails. Key risks to data integrity. Common vulnerabilities include inadequate system validation or security controls, e.g. shared passwords, ability to change system clocks. Manual data handling errors, e.g. transcription mistakes, calculation errors. Lack of contemporaneous recording, e.g. backdating. Insufficient review of audit trails or metadata. Lack of adequate training or GDP adherence. And organizational culture issues, e.g. pressure to hide unfavorable results. Essential controls. Maintaining data integrity requires a robust multi-layered strategy incorporating technical controls, using validated systems, e.g. LIMS, CDS, MES, with features like secure, unique user access, comprehensive and secure audit trails, electronic signatures where appropriate, automated data capture, data backup, and recovery plans. Procedural controls, implementing clear SOPs for all stages of data handling, generation to archival, strictly adhering to good documentation practices, GDP, providing regular effective training on DI GDP, performing thorough data verification and review processes, e.g. second-person review. Organizational controls, demonstrating strong leadership commitment to data integrity, fostering a positive quality culture that encourages reporting issues, speak-up culture. Establishing clear data governance policies, roles and responsibilities. Conclusion: data integrity is a critical pharmaceutical quality system component. Ensuring data reliability through integrated technical, procedural, and organizational controls is essential for maintaining compliance, making informed quality decisions, assuring consistent product quality, and ultimately protecting patients. Are you involved in the manufacture of sterile medicinal products? Then you need to know about EU GMP Annex 1. This critical document provides comprehensive guidelines for ensuring the sterility of your products, protecting patients from harmful contamination. In simple terms, Annex 1 sets out how to minimize the risks associated with sterile product manufacturing. We're talking about 3 main types of contamination, and Annex 1 provides detailed guidance on how to prevent each. Microbiological contamination. This refers to contamination by bacteria, fungi, viruses, and other microorganisms. Annex 1 emphasizes the importance of cleanroom design, personnel hygiene, and sterilization processes to control this risk. For example, it specifies requirements for air filtration, HEPA filters, room classification, grade A, B, C, D, and the validation of sterilization cycles. Particulate contamination. This involves the presence of unwanted particles in the final product, such as dust, fibers, and other debris. Annex 1 addresses this by requiring the use of appropriate clothing, controlled environments, and online particle monitoring systems. Pyrogen contamination. Pyrogens are fever-inducing substances, often derived from microorganisms. Annex 1 highlights the need for water quality control, WFI, water for injection, depyrogenation processes, like dry heat sterilization, and the proper handling of materials to prevent pyrogen contamination. Why is this so important? Because sterile drugs, by nature, bypass many of the body's natural defenses. They are often injected or infused directly into the bloodstream, posing a high risk to patients if contaminated. Contamination can lead to serious consequences, including infections, sepsis, and even fatal outcomes. Annex 1 aims to mitigate these risks through stringent controls. Annex 1 covers a wide range of topics, providing detailed requirements for every stage of sterile manufacturing. Here are some key areas. Facility design. Annex 1 places a strong emphasis on the design and layout of manufacturing facilities. This includes the design of clean rooms, the use of barrier technologies, like isolators and restricted access barrier systems, RABs, and the control of airflow and pressure differentials. For instance, it specifies requirements for airlock design, surface finishes, and the segregation of incompatible activities. Personnel. People are a significant potential source of contamination. Annex 1 details extensive requirements for personnel training, qualification, hygiene, and gowning. This includes specifications for gowning procedures, hand hygiene practices, and the ongoing assessment of personnel competency in aseptic techniques. Equipment. The design, construction, and maintenance of equipment are critical. Annex 1 outlines requirements for materials of construction, cleanability, sterilization, and the validation of equipment performance. Examples include requirements for stainless steel quality, the use of CIP clean-in-place systems, and the validation of autoclave cycles. Production and specific technologies. Annex 1 provides guidance on various production processes, including aseptic processing, terminal sterilization, and filtration. It also addresses specific technologies like blow, fill, seal, and single-use systems. Environmental and process monitoring. Continuous monitoring of the manufacturing environment is essential. Annex 1 details the requirements for viable and non-viable particle monitoring, surface and personnel monitoring, and the trending of data. It also covers the requirements for aseptic process simulations, APS, also known as media fills. Quality control. Annex 1 emphasizes the importance of robust quality control systems, including testing, specifications, and release procedures. It also addresses topics like parametric release and rapid microbiological methods. The core principle of Annex 1 is to establish and maintain a sterile manufacturing environment. This requires a holistic approach, controlling every aspect of the production process. It starts from the initial design of the facility and extends to the sourcing of raw materials, the execution of manufacturing operations, and the release of the finished product. A key element is the Contamination Control Strategy, CCS, which is a documented approach to identify, assess, and control contamination risks. Enjoyed the video? Want to stay up to date with the latest GMP insights and guidance? Then make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got tons more helpful content coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and join the GMP Guide community. Ever wondered what it's really like to be at the helm of a project that could bring a life-changing medicine to patients? The role of a pharmaceutical project manager is dynamic, demanding, and incredibly rewarding. Today, we're going to take a glimpse into a typical day in their busy schedule. The day often kicks off with a scan of the inbox. A pharma project manager will likely start by checking emails, prioritizing urgent requests, and responding to queries from their diverse project team. Next, they'll often review project dashboards and reports. These tools provide a snapshot of the project's progress, highlighting key milestones, potential roadblocks, and budget adherence. If any urgent issues or roadblocks have surfaced overnight or require immediate attention, the morning is the time to address them, perhaps by reaching out to relevant team members for clarification or initiating problem solving. Before the flurry of meetings begins, there might be some time dedicated to preparing for the day's discussions, reviewing agendas, and gathering necessary information. A significant portion of a pharma project manager's day is usually spent in meetings and collaborative sessions. They might start with a cross-functional team meeting, bringing together representatives from research and development, clinical operations, regulatory affairs, manufacturing, and even marketing. In this meeting, the team will discuss progress on various aspects of the drug development process, address any challenges, and ensure everyone is aligned on the next steps. There could also be stakeholder meetings with senior management to provide updates on the project's status, discuss potential risks, and seek necessary approvals. Depending on the project phase, there might be meetings with external partners, such as contract research organizations or manufacturing facilities. A key skill for a pharma project manager is facilitating problem-solving sessions, guiding the team to identify root causes and develop effective solutions to keep the project moving forward. Throughout these interactions, the project manager plays a vital role in ensuring clear communication and alignment across all involved parties. Between meetings, the pharma project manager will often be engaged in individual work and task management. This could involve updating project plans and timelines to reflect progress or any necessary adjustments. They are also responsible for managing budgets and resources, ensuring that the project stays within its allocated financial constraints. Tracking progress against key milestones is a continuous activity, helping to identify any potential delays early on. Meticulous documentation of decisions and actions taken is crucial in the highly regulated pharma environment. Furthermore, a proactive project manager will dedicate time to risk assessment and mitigation planning, identifying potential threats to the project's success and developing strategies to address them. Despite the best planning, unexpected challenges are a common occurrence in pharmaceutical development. A project manager might need to spend time dealing with unforeseen issues such as delays in clinical trial enrollment, unexpected regulatory queries, or manufacturing hiccups. Their ability to be adaptable and find creative solutions is often put to the test. When necessary, they also need to know when and how to escalate issues to the appropriate levels of management for resolution. As the day draws to a close, a pharma project manager will typically review their accomplishments for the day and plan for the next. This might involve outlining key tasks, setting priorities, and ensuring that all critical action items have been addressed. In essence, a day in the life of a pharmaceutical project manager is a fast-paced, multifaceted experience requiring strong organizational, communication, and problem-solving skills. They are the central point of contact, the orchestrator of complex processes, and the driving force behind bringing innovative medicines from the lab to the patients who need them. Let's start with the basics. A GMP, or Good Manufacturing Practice, audit is a systematic inspection of a manufacturing facility to ensure that products are consistently produced and controlled according to quality standards. These audits can be conducted by regulatory bodies, like the FDA, or by customers, or even internally. There are several types of GMP audits. Internal audits. These are self-inspections conducted by your own company to identify areas for improvement. External audits. These are conducted by third parties, such as customers or certification bodies. Regulatory audits. These are conducted by government agencies like the FDA to ensure compliance with regulations. So, how do you survive an audit? The key is preparation. Here are some crucial steps. Know the regulations. A thorough understanding of the applicable GMP regulations is essential. This includes staying up to date on any changes or updates. Document, document, document. GMP is all about documentation. Ensure that all your procedures, processes, and records are accurate, complete, and readily accessible. This includes standard operating procedures, SOPs, batch records, training records, Calibration and maintenance records. Deviation reports. Maintain a clean and organized facility. A clean and organized facility is a visual indicator of GMP compliance. Implement a robust cleaning and sanitation program and ensure that all equipment is properly maintained. Train your personnel. Your employees are your first line of defense during an audit. Ensure they are well trained on GMP principles, your company's procedures, and how to interact with auditors. Have a mock audit. Conduct a mock audit to identify potential weaknesses in your system and give your team practice in responding to audit questions. Be prepared for questions. Anticipate the types of questions an auditor might ask and prepare clear and concise answers. Honesty and transparency. Always be honest